After weeks or even months of preparing your immigration case, you finally send it off and then realize that you made a mistake. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some options you have to correct mistakes in your immigration applications. Hi guys, my name is Ksenia. I make videos for people who are going through the family immigration process. I'm not an attorney. My videos are based on public information, my own experience, and the experience of my subscribers. And the purpose of my channel is to give you guys the confidence to go through this process completely on your own. If you have discovered a mistake in your USCIS application, I will give you some options, some steps that you can take in order to amend this mistake. It all depends on the type of mistake that you have discovered. There are some minor mistakes, such as a minor misspelling, a difference in date, or maybe a slight difference in a phone number. So basically typographical errors. Minor errors like typos don't often even have to be corrected. Most of the time, USCIS will still process your application. So if you do choose to correct a mistake like that, you have a couple of options. One, you can submit a typographical error via the Selfservice tool. Now, I must let you know that USCIS advertises this tool for mistakes that were made by USCIS. However, even in the case where the applicant makes that mistake, there have been some success in using the Selfservice tool to amend this small typographical error in applications. Your second option is to contact USCIS through their customer service number, the 1-800 number, or through the Emma chat on their website. Do keep in mind that if you would like to reach a real person, then you would have to contact the chat or call them during the actual working hours. Your third option is to simply make that correction at your green card interview, at your naturalization interview, whatever interview you have coming up. You can equally point that out to the USCIS officer to quickly make that correction. And your final, but not the most reliable option, is to upload any corrections in the unsolicited evidence on your USCIS account, but it is not guaranteed that a USCIS officer will actually see this correction made in the unsolicited evidence. So this way of correcting the mistake usually should be doubled up with any of the other options that we just discussed. But then there are some serious mistakes that could affect the outcome of your application. For example, not answering the admissibility questions correctly. Such are located in the Form I-485 in Part 9. Answering those questions incorrectly can result in USCIS accusing you of misrepresentation, which means lying on your applications. Being accused of lying on your applications can cost you your entire case. Of course, there are certain forgivenesses depending on the type of application you have and your status, your category. You should still correct them as soon as you notice. With mistakes like these, you may not necessarily have luck correcting them via the contact center call or via the chat online, because those kinds of mistakes require them to connect you with an officer who is working on your case or the service center who's working on your case to pull up your application and make that correction. Your best bet in a situation like this is to send USCIS an official letter requesting that that correction is made. And in some cases, even sending a completely new form. You would send that letter typically to the service center that is processing your case. Typically, you can find out which service center has your case by looking at the bottom of your I-797 receipt notice. You should always make a copy of this letter and make sure you get a certified delivery so that you have a paper trail proving that you have made efforts in amending this error. Your other option for serious mistakes like that is also correcting them during your interview. When you come to your interview, a USCIS officer will go through the admissibility questions one more time. So you should listen carefully and be ready to let them know where exactly you have made a mistake and being able to explain your answer with detail. Also bring evidence of that to your interview. For instance, if you have answered no to a question that asks about crimes, offenses, or citations, when in fact you did receive a citation, maybe a ticket or a fine that you have paid or argued in court, bring that evidence with you to the interview. Similarly, you can also utilize the unsolicited evidence tool in your USCIS account, but once again, it is not guaranteed that a USCIS officer will actually see this. So use this option as an additional option to all the other options we just discussed. To summarize, before you decide to correct an error, you need to understand whether it is worth correcting in the first place. If it is a minor typo, then it doesn't always have to be corrected, but if you choose to do so, you have quite a few options. The typo service request, calling USCIS or chatting with them, and bringing it up at your interview. And if you make a major mistake, you should be taking appropriate steps with a paper trail in order to make that correction, such as sending a letter to USCIS Service Center that's processing your case with a cover letter, perhaps even a new form, and an explanation plus evidence, and also bringing it up at your interview. If you are a consular applicant and you have applied for an immigrant visa overseas via the DS-260 form and you have discovered a mistake, unfortunately, a DS-260 cannot be corrected after you click submit. However, your two options are: one, contacting them via the public inquiry form and explaining exactly what the mistake was, and two, bringing it up at your consular interview. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos. Bye!